Today, we're going to talk about how to clear spirits out of your house. We're going to give you tips.
And it's actually a lot of fun to clear your house anyway from time to time, especially since COVIDville happened. We're living in our homes more, so energy buildup in itself can create just a lot of stagnation, and spirits can be just drawn in. So, here are our tips for the day.
Well, the first thing is don't panic, or you might feel a sense of panic, but try to stay calm because panicking isn't going to help anything. And you're going to want to try to um, set a boundary with the spirit. And if you're feeling nervous or panic, just say, hey, back up, don't come near me, go into the light, leave me alone, you're not welcome here. If you're scared, say something like that, and that's an immediate boundary.
You never want to show fear, because when you show fear, uh, and it's a negative spirit, it's going to feed off of your fear. So you do want to let them know, hey, asshole, you're in my house, you know, like that. You got to have an attitude like that.
Yeah. Sabrina's actually taught me that because there was one time in particular when we were working together and there was a spirit that came into our room, and man, she screamed at him like there was no tomorrow. And yeah, he was gone after that. So
Ernie came and said, what the hell happened? There was that really tall, dark, nasty spirit, and that was in the corner, right? You want to light sage if you have sage. Or if you don't have any sage, you want to call on your spirit guides and ask for protection.
a sage wand you can pick up, you can order it online, you can go into a local store. Sometimes you'll have them in Whole Foods. The sage wand is something you want to light the end of, and be careful because sometimes it can be flammable, but you want to go into every corner of your house, or say, I'll take sage when I travel if I feel a spirit in my room with me, and I sage the corners of every room in a clockwise motion. That's what I do um, for saging.
Yeah, sage is always your best bet, your go-to. If you don't have sage and you have lavender incense, lavender candles, because I know, Shavaun, you use a lot of lavender candles and it works really well to clear the energy, and it's also good for protection.
Well, yes, lavender is really great. Also, lemon and citrus is good too. I really love lemon for a cleansing feel. So that's another thing too that's really important, especially if you're feeling like there's a dark energy in the house, is clean the house. Dark energy attracts to filth, and you want to get all the corners cleaned out, the cobwebs out of the corners. You want to really cleanse the home, because a dirty home will bring some dark energy like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah, and it's just spring clean. It's a good time to spring clean, reorganize, get things sort of somewhat in order where you don't even feel like you're spinning. So you know where everything is. So it has a nice harmony effect. Oh, you know what I also like doing to raise the vibration when the energy in the house isn't good, or you feel like you have like just really funky spirits in the house, are those feng shui. I'll show you these little feng shui balls. They, or like the chandelier crystals, and you put them where the sunlight in the windows of the sun, and it creates all this beautiful rainbow energy.
There's all kinds of crystals that have different energies and work better for protection, like hematite and obsidian. The black ones will really absorb negative energies, and that's great. But also getting a crystal and setting an intention with it as a protection will also help. Also, cleansing the body, taking a shower or a bath. Protection bath is always nice with sea salt, lavender, lemon. That's a small little recipe I like to use. Sometimes I'll throw some fresh herbs in there to cleanse my energy, so I might not accidentally be attracting something.
Let's say you're at someone's home and you're there for a few nights. And then you come home and you feel heavy, right? You like your energy feels heavy. Those baths are great because what it'll do is it'll clear your aura. And you can also use baking soda too, like a half a cup of baking soda in the tub with the salt and the lemon and lavender will also help. I read somewhere a really long time ago that baking soda helps clear the aura. It actually really feels good when I get out of the bath.
Oh, I've never done that. And
Yeah, it's weird. Baking soda is like all purposeful. It does all sorts of things.
also when like cleaning your house, I think it's good to clean with organic stuff. I really love the scent of lemon when I'm cleaning, but choose something that feels really comfortable and makes you happy because it's about creating harmony. If you're dealing with a ghost, is it a good one or is it a not so good one? And there's a difference. You can create harmony and live with spirits because, you know, I do that. I have spirits here all the time. And they seem to like it when I cook or when I have great smells in the house and put good energy into the home. We all seem to blend really well together when with the spirits that are in my house on a constant basis that won't cross over because some spirits won't leave, some don't want to go.
That's true. Some don't want to go, and you have to set the boundaries with them. So, like, if they're nice spirits, and they're manageable, you have to remember. I mean, let them know, hey, this is my home. I'm allowing you to stay here under these circumstances. A, B, C, D, nicely, but kind of like with Rosemary, with that spirit, that lady spirit. Well, she's sort of like the guardian for you in your home anyway. You,
Yeah.
you, you tell her what to do and she'll do it. I mean, you ask her and she'll do it.
Yeah, she does. And I've had to have some extra protection in the house because there's a baby here now. And I noticed that on the cameras, I'm noticing that the spirits are very curious about the baby. So that's another interesting thing with small children, because small children and babies are very receptive to spirits, and spirits are so curious about them because they're fresh life and they're missing life and all that sort of thing. So that's an interesting thing to do. So I've been extra saging my house. Uh, yeah, I've been extra saging my house since we have a small baby around.
Yeah, and that's important too. I agree. Like if you have, especially if kids are really sensitive, like they're just psychic or they're empathic. Like you want to keep things always clean. You want to keep the vibration high. And it's funny because Spirit is literally just telling me right now, you can even put salt in the corners of your home. That will help. Like Himalayan, they're showing me the pink salt. That's the Himalayan salt, right?
Yeah.
Or kosher salt, or I mean, regular salt will do, but sea salt is, I always use sea salt. That helps too, especially if you live in an area that has a lot of sort of spirit activity, like in the area of where you live, because you live in a vortex. So the whole area of where you are is a vortex.
Yeah, it's interesting though, because the neighbors don't get the kind of paranormal activity that this particular house gets. At least the ones I've talked to
That's
don't.
bizarre to me. That is really weird.
I
Are you
think that this sits on the portal of it. I think that this house like gets the straight through activity that goes on. You know what else I find really helps is bringing in fresh flowers or plants, live plants, having a living energy in this cleansed space really just raises the frequency so that you're not attracting dark energies, because we can live with nice spirits, we can, and a lot of us do without even realizing it, but living with a dark energy is a whole nother ball game. And uh, really keeping the house clean and fresh and bringing in life, lighting candles, saging, all these things will really help shift the frequency of the house. At the very minimal, you're going to feel better once all this stuff is done. The energy will be so much better in the house.
Yeah, that's very true. And you always want to do things that make you happy in the home. You want to focus on things that give you joy. Watch movies that actually uplift you. Don't watch anything that's going to make you feel really depressed. And listen to music. I mean, just do what you love to do, because that in itself will also raise the vibration in your home as well.
Music and tones and frequencies. And one of the things I love on YouTube is you can go into these meditations that have a frequency of the day. And there's even some that help clear out the energy of your house. And it's a tone that moves throughout the house throughout the day. And it really does help. So it's a constant battle to stay cleansed from dark energies and spirits. So if we're aware of that, if we don't keep things clean and clear, the spirits will continue to come. And I am guilty of being too lazy to sage or light a candle, and then my house gets, filled up with a whole bunch of spirits, and I wonder why. It's because I've forgotten to do a lot of these things. So if you stay in check with it, you can really be on top of the whole ghosts in the house thing.
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes I get too busy and I forget. Oh, one thing too that you can do if you have bells is bell your house. It raises the vibration, and you can do it around your home in the corners. And if you, especially if you don't have sage, or sage and bell, you can even bell yourself to raise your vibration. Feels really good when you do it. I don't know. I like doing it.
I have this.
Oh, I love that. I totally love that.
And this is something you can do. Like if I have a spirit that walks in my office that I'm in right now, which every so often I'll get one, I can immediately do this. And it sets a boundary. It sets a boundary, and you can set boundaries with spirits. And you can ask them to not come into your room. You can be really clear with them. You can write them letters. And, at this point too, if you're curious now, and you're still getting all this activity after doing all this cleansing, then you have a spirit that has something to say. There's a spirit in your house that has something to say, whether they're trying to communicate with you and tell them a secret, or how they died, or who did it, or what they forgot to tell somebody. I think that's the time where, if you're curious and are interested, you ask the spirit, what is it they want from you? And what I would say to how to receive that message is a couple things. One is listen to what your first instinct says in your gut. What are you feeling like you're receiving? And second would be the signs that you might get around your house, like signs you might get around your house from a spirit that could give you clues as to what it is they want. And, it's different for every spirit, so it's hard to say. Sometimes a sign might come in a penny, or feathers, or birds, or butterflies, or all kinds of other things. So through the lights, through whatnot. So I think if you have a spirit stuck in your house, just kind of pay attention to what they're trying to tell you.
Don't expect an answer right away, because spirit time and our time completely different. Sometimes you have to just be patient, and they will tell you the way that they know how to explain it to you, because sometimes they have to think about, well, shit, how the hell am I going to explain it to this lady? So they have feelings too. Remember that.
So those are a few tips on how to cleanse your house of spirits. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Peace out.